Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. I always feel like I don't say that very genuinely because I've usually said it 5 or 6 times before I finally get a video that works. So if I don't sound like it, know that I do genuinely hope you're doing well. Okay. I'm just also really tired at the moment. Anyways, that's my fault. Let's take a look at this assignment. But actually, before I do, don't forget to do the check-in. Make sure you do the check-in. Due date's the same. You've got the week now instead of just 2 days. Um, and then I'm going to try and put out just another video um, soon here, talking about topics, maybe another story about me. But anyways, that's what we've got going on. And I should probably get moving on this assignment because I really, really don't want to have to redo this video. But anyways, here we go. Enough with the insane talk. Decolonization of Africa and Asia. Our essential question is, how did the process of decolonization impact various populations? So this is going back to something we learned in the before times, before the quarantine. And specifically, that's the idea of empire and colonization. So remember, an empire is where one country, most frequently a European country such as Britain or France, controls multiple different countries, areas of land throughout the world. So Britain controlled basically like a quarter of the entire landmass of the world at one point. Their empire was that big. They controlled 38 different countries, different nations across the world. They all were under its control. And after the Second World War, Britain simply doesn't have the ability. They don't have the resources, they don't have the money, and they don't have the energy. They have enough political fallout going on in their own country without having to control what's going on in the rest of their 38 different country colonies at the same time. And at the same time, Britain, France, and Germany to an extent, Italy to an extent, all of those European countries, like I said, they controlled all these other nations across the world. When the World War happened, they were like, "Hey, we need you to send us your soldiers. You're part of the empire." And then after that war, it was very hard for those European countries to say, "Okay, you fought for us. You fought trying to stop the German Empire, the Nazi Empire, from expanding." They can't, morally, they can't righteously say, "But we want you to stay in an empire as well." So decolonization happens. The empires relinquish control. They let those colonies they used to control have their own independence. And unfortunately, they do that before those countries are really ready. I always think of it like pulling the rug out from underneath somebody. These colonies were so dependent, so used to being ruled by these other empires that they just don't know how to govern themselves. And I equate that to this free right here. So it's kind of like the very first time your parents leave you and your friends, or maybe just you home alone without inner supervision. The very first time they did that. And maybe, your parents did that when you're ready. Maybe they didn't. And really, that's what I want you to think about. What would it be like if you and your friends had the house all to yourself, whether you're in middle school or maybe just now in high school? How insane, how chaotic would that be? Okay. So I want you to think about that to start off with. Think about that. And of course, snitches get stitches. I don't like that saying, but it made me laugh. So I won't tell. Go ahead. Be as truthful as you want. And then basically take that idea, take of all that disaster that you can think of being left alone in your house for the first time. And that chaos is basically going to be equivalent to what it's like during decolonization. And unfortunately, hope you took your happy pills. This assignment right here is going to be all about that chaos.